Hi, everybody. I'm Marina, the Vice President of Out Film City, and today I'm going to talk to Lila Schmitz about her film "Love in the Time of Corona." It's part of our bisexual short program. Hi, Lila. Nice
Hi, thanks for having me.
virtually. Can you remind us a little bit about your film and the idea?
Sure,
What it
sure.
meant to you?
Yeah, it's a little short film inspired by a true story of a couple faced with a global pandemic and trying to figure out how to still date and have sex and connect, and find some relief and connection in a really isolating time.
Hmm. And you said it was inspired by a couple, but I think to me, the main idea of the film, you can feel how hard it is to be single during the pandemic. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it I think the inspiration just came from a little article that I read, about, how people were trying to have sex on dates, but,
mhm.
the heart of the story is really about the main character who's just struggling with isolation and, feeling really disconnected from everything and everyone around him.
Yeah, it's very nice to see how you have layers of it, the isolation and the the sex part, how he's trying to find connection with people, right?
Mhm.
And kind of the boredom, but he's using sex to overcome the boredom.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think, turning to something that makes you feel anything and, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and um, creativity to have sex and to meet people. I
Yeah.
think that was very creative.
Yeah, I think, the human imagination can go to all extents, especially when it comes to sex and feeling lonely, and, we're quite an imaginative species, I think, and it's, just needing to find the relief and sex, and people were doing all sorts of crazy things to make that happen, and do even not in a pandemic. And I think we're all just trying to find a way to you know get that sort of emotional connection, and yeah.
Hmm. Right. And it was it a dramedy? Would you describe it as a dramedy
Oh,
or
that's a good
comedy?
question. Yeah, I think a dramedy would make sense. I think there's humor to it, and but also, like, I find it to be serious as well. Like, I think
Right.
that there's something really, it painful and hard, but, you don't wanna just at least right now, I don't wanna just watch pain and
Mhm.
sadness, so it was important to have some levity and, include the humor as well. But it is a serious thing. It comes across as funny, I think, also because it's uncomfortable for people to
Right.
watch, and so, yes, dramedy, I think, to answer your question.
Yeah, and it was for those little things that made it so funny and sad at the same time, like the I don't know if it was Tinder or what was showing there is nobody for you, nobody at all.
Yeah, yeah. The sass of the apps,
Mhm.
I feel like computers are always giving me sass and talking to me and hating me. And yeah, yeah, definitely.
Right, and the couple, the roommates, I think,
Mhm.
who kind of brushed it in his face.
Yeah, yeah. I think, he's sitting there jacking off watching TV, and the roommates come in and completely ignore him. And yeah, I think there's something about there are people there with him, right? He's not
Mhm.
alone, but it feels almost more isolating that way, and he feels
Right.
even more alone in the face of it. Yeah.
Hmm. And you also made it as a silent film, so nobody talks.
Yeah.
Was it on purpose? How did you come up with that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it really needed a conversation. It was a challenge just for myself, I think, to make a film like that, and just a fun little experiment. But yeah, I don't. There was no need for it for me. I think that the pandemic has been a very silent time for a lot of people, and there is a lot of just sort of sitting in no conversations, and no, just it's sort of the intimate moments that we live in our minds more so than anything else. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so it is an LGBTQ film, and but also we know that he is bisexual,
Yeah.
right? And how how was it for you? Was it for you important to show that, to underline that? Because it is very subtle. You
Yeah.
don't really mention it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I am bi, and there was something in it for me in making him not just gay, and sort of and it was honestly sort of scary for me to make that choice, because I didn't really have to make it until I was in the edit room sitting there being like, well, are people going to be confused? Like, just the anxiety that runs through your head of like, why not just go with the easiest option of making him gay? And this is actually the first bisexual shorts program that we've been featured in, and we've played a number of festivals and been in a lot of men's shorts programs. So I'm really excited to be in a bi program, and I think that it's easy to feel very sort of left out of the spaces that I shouldn't necessarily like feel that way, but I think it's an internalized homophobia, and an internalized like, oh well, like bisexuality is not, as sort of acknowledged or seen or feeling in that way. So for me, it was absolutely important to make that decision, and have him be bi, and have the women and genderqueer people in there as well, because I think it's just, I make art to sort of feel some connection, right? Sorry. Dog's
Well,
free,
dog
apparently.
agrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And thank you for that because, you know, honestly, we do try to make bisexual program each year, and
Yeah.
it has been hard because there is straight content or there is gay, lesbian content, um, some non-binary, but not a lot, and
Yeah.
not a lot bisexual, and most of what we have is not it is very subtle. It's not usually about bisexual character. um
Yeah.
yeah, so it is hard to
Yeah.
find these films and to be seen. I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. And I mean, and all of the stories are important to be told, and I'm trying to figure out as I move forward how to, include stories that I think, make me feel seen, because that's really all I can do, and is that, tell my story and contribute that in the way of art and whatever, if I'm gonna tell stories, that's sort of what I've got, and
Mhm.
if it works, that's great. So yeah, it is absolutely something I'm thinking about,
Mhm.
and going forward and trying to figure out how to navigate, because it's you can be very on the nose about it, but I'm interested in stories that include queer characters across the spectrum everyday life in ways where it's about sex or something else other than really that. So yeah.
So, if you were to put that film, evolve it into a feature film, which
Yeah.
areas will you develop more?
I think probably not this one, because for me it's so much about this little moment, but
Mhm.
I do wanna work in a similar tone and, like, style and
Mhm.
space, and with dialogue.
Yeah.
Um, and so absolutely, I'm trying to figure out how to
Mhm.
move into a similar space for a feature film, with queer characters and, um, with sort of similar narrative. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's amazing. So these are your future plans, right?
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Sorry.
No, I think it's great. Okay, thank you so much.
Cool.
It was great to talk to you.
Thanks, Marina. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'll see you. Bye.